Right, what is up YouTube? Hope you're all having a good day so far. Today is leg day, but it's a bit of a different one because I'm not training at the usual gym that I train at. I'm training at the Physique club down in Loughborough, which is my old coach's gym, because it's the 1 year anniversary I think it is today. So he's doing like a free day pass. So I assume a lot of the guys I know will be there. So I want to go train, see them all, and have a good little trip. Yeah, just had meal one, starting out on the walkie pad course to get everything digested. I'm going to be training on basically eat after eating 2 meals today, as opposed to training after eating 4, which I normally do. So bit of a different one. When it comes to training after eating a different amount of meals, usually it doesn't tend to affect me too much. Say if I train on like 3 meals as opposed to 4 meals, that won't really affect me. But if I go from training on 4 meals to 1 meal, I'll probably notice my performance take a bit of a hit. I'm eating loads of food anyway, so it won't really matter, but it's more so just about being kind of like warm. But because I'll be at a different gym anyway, I'm not too fussed. I'm just want to have a good session. I'm not really I'll stick to the same kind of exercises that I normally do and keep the rough session layout the same as it normally is. Luckily, they have pretty much the same equipment. They've got all the same gym Leco pieces. They've got similar isolation movements. So I'll be able to make do. Have a good session. And they actually have a deadlift bar there. So my stiff legs today should feel significantly better than they normally do on the usual, just regular barbell that I do them on. So I'm hoping once I should get maybe 5 or 6 with 160, as opposed to the usual 4 that I've been getting the last couple of sessions, which we'll see. But got a good feeling about it, feeling pretty good. So I've had this first meal. I'm gonna eat my pre-workout meal at a service station on the drive down there, because it's about a 2 hour drive from mine. So then I'll catch you on the drive. Adios. Right, yes guys, we are en route to the Physique club. So it's about just over 2 hour drive for me. But I'm going to stop at the services and eat my pre-workout meal, which is the next service is like 10 miles away, which will be, I mean, if you can do the maths, 70 miles an hour divided by whatever, I can't bother doing it. But yeah, stop up there, eat my pre-workout meal, just the usual, chicken and rice, some rice cakes, and a square bar, and with some honey and dark chocolate and rice cakes. Yeah, I'll sink that nice and easy. In a very good mood today, because I feel like I've not been on the motorway in a good while, and I do love motorway driving much more than I love driving through this, Manchester City Centre. If anyone drives through Manchester City Centre, you know it's not a nice drive. But yeah, the motorway, just with the scenic views, and I'm on the M62 now, and I just drove past, that house in the middle where they built the motorway around it. I think there's a story behind that. I think that's because the guy who owns the house wouldn't get paid out for them to build through it, basically. Some shit like that, I don't really know. But yeah, gonna see the pre-workout meal. Hopefully the service station that I stop at has a microwave, so I can heat up the chicken and rice. If not, I am just gonna firm it and have it cold. Usually they do have a little microwave. They are supposed to be used for babies to heat up the milk and stuff, but obviously me needing a warm Tupperware of chicken and rice is more important than the babies getting fed, clearly. Anything for the gains. But yeah, very much looking forward to this leg day. Yeah, maybe catch you in the gym. But I could confirm the microwave is located. So pre-workout meal went down as I wanted to. Just boxing off boxing off about 5 minutes of steps. I'm just walking around the services holding my phone up, talking to myself, probably like an absolute idiot, but needs must. Get the digestion going, ready for a good session. Right, as per usual, starting out the session with biceps. However, it's not on the usual bicep machine that I use. The normal one I use back at King's is the Gym Leco one, whereas I'm now on the Strive piece, which is still a great machine. And this is a good one because you can manipulate the resistance profile on it, same way as you can with any of the Prime pieces. Well, Strive is basically the old version of Prime before Prime bought out Strive and patented the mechanisms and stuff. But yeah, same as usual, 3 sets on here. Did the first set on the setting 1, where the resistance is kind of even. Second set on setting 5, where it's biasing a little bit more off the stretch position. And then the third set on setting 3, where it's basically fully biasing the stretch position. This means on the third set, it's very similar. The resistance is very similar to how the normal Gym Leco machine is that I use. But yeah, all 3 sets on here felt very good. So after this, swiftly moved on to the adductor. But the set that I filmed is pretty shit. The angle on it is not really good, so I'm not going to include that in here, but that felt great. Then moving on to stiff leg deadlifts. Now I'm doing these on the deadlift bar, which is a great bar because it means that you can get more like kind of slack out of it as you start the pull, which doesn't make it lighter, but it does make it easier, if that makes sense. So I managed to get 4 reps with 160, which is the same amount of reps that I got last time I did it on a normal bar, but the quality of the reps are significantly better. Like there's still a bit of hitching on this last rep, but it's nowhere near as much hitching as, let's say, the last time I did it on the other bar that I normally use. And then I went up a tiny bit in weight on the back off compared to what I did last time I did stiff legs. This time I did 145 kilos and I got just shy of 7 reps. You'll be able to see this here. I probably should have just grafted that last rep out a little bit more, but I was smashed. And I made up for my, well, I wouldn't say lack of effort. I still give it a very good shot, but could I have maybe shithoused the form and locked it out? Yeah, probably. But I made up for that on the next couple of sets I do of the leg compounds because I absolutely full send every single one of them. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with how this set went. Feels very good, very smooth. I absolutely love this gym. It's got such a cozy kind of feel to it because the machines are quite close together, but they are still spaced out enough so that you can actually walk around and not get in anyone's way, really. And there's also not like a million cardio machines which take up loads of space, which could be filled with other, equipment. And they always play bangers too, which always helps get the vibe right. After these, moving on to the seated leg curl, and this is a Cybex machine. I don't know which exact model, but it's really good. In fact, I think it's probably the best. I don't want to make the claim and say it's the best seated leg curl I've used because I'm using a seatbelt on it, the gym pin seatbelt, which I spoke about buying in the last video. I've now bought it and I've tried it on the seated leg curl. And this set is probably the best set of seated leg curls I've ever felt. I don't know whether that's due to the resistance dropping off as you get your leg fully shortened, or whether it's just because the seatbelt's keeping my core fully braced against that back pad and not allowing it to shift forward as the weight gets more hard. As the set gets harder. But regardless, it felt mega. I will find out whether it is the seatbelt or not when I go back to the normal seated leg curl that I use up at King's. But yeah, 2 sets on here. First set, I'm trying to figure out which weight I would be using. I probably undershot that and got like 15 reps on the top set. So I just upped the weight by like 2 pins, I think, or 1 or 2 pins on the back off. And got like, I have to count that back, I want to say like 7 maybe. Then moving on to the quad compounds, starting out with the Gym Leco hip press. Now, the Gym Leco hip press here feels different to the one that I use up at King's. It feels heavier. The back pad feels a little bit less like comfortable in a sense. I don't know if there's less like foam or padding in it or whatever the case is, but the actual machine feels really smooth. Must be a newer one, which is good. I did 3 plates and a 5 on this one because last week I had a bit of a disaster with the loading on this machine. Just my knee was just giving me a load of shit, whereas on this one it actually felt pretty good, and I also seat belted myself into it as well, which felt good. So yeah, happy with this. Then on the back off, I basically put all 3 plates on the top and just did the same weight, and I think I got like 12, I want to say. I'll have to watch this back and count, but felt really good, felt smooth. Knee was not flaring up whatsoever. So hopefully that was just a one-off last week where my knee was giving me shit. But yeah, felt absolutely mega. And you can actually see me a lot more clearer in this video because this gym has like natural light coming in. They had the big shutters open and the lights aren't all blue, which, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love King's, but it's quite nice to be able to, film a video and be able to see yourself properly without being blued out. But yeah, the big balloons in the back also say that it's the 1-year anniversary of the gym, which is pretty sick. They've absolutely smashed it out of the park for the first year, so congrats to Reece and Finn. But back to myself, the session is going really well so far. I know I mentioned previously that I'm training off 2 meals as opposed to 4 like I normally do. And I do tend to feel like physically a lot stronger when I have trained with more food in me. But I noticed that I can I find I can push myself more when let's say like it's earlier in the day when I've had less meals, whereas I'm actually physically stronger later on in the day when I've had more meals. So I am kind of torn between what I prefer, whether it is training on less or more meals. But with work and my routine at the moment, I don't have a choice but to train on 4 meals. So there isn't really much point in me even considering it. Next, moved on to the pendulum squat, same one that I normally use up at King's. And same again, this one, it kind of feels more similar in terms of like weight wise than the gym level hip press does between the one at King's. This one feels almost like it's the exact same weight, which it probably is. But yeah, 2 great sets on here. First set, I did the same weight that I did last week, I think, at King's. And I think I just matched reps, or I might have got one up. I'll have to double check and count that. Then it was absolutely grinded though, you can see that, Jesus. Second set, I did a little bit extra weight than I did at King's, I think. I'll have to double check on that as well. But yeah, both sets felt great. Used the seat belt to kind of use it as like a belt in this sense. Like it's just keeping my core pressed against that pad, keeping my positioning completely in line, which felt great. So I'm going to be using my seat belt for basically every leg machine going forward, which is going to be exciting. And I think it's a bit too much of a faff. I promise you it's not. You literally just before you get into the set, just wrap the back of the seat belt around the back of the pad or of whatever machine you're using, and then just fasten yourself in. It takes about 2 seconds. And then after this, I moved on to Smith machine Bulgarian split squats, which I haven't done in about 3 years. So right now, I feel absolutely ruined. I can barely even walk. To get into the shower. But watching this back, I can definitely tell that my form needs some tweaks. I need to bring my leading leg further forward and my rear leg further forward as well, because I'm noticing that I'm sort of hitching too far back with my hips on this and turning it into a bit of like a single leg good morning. Whereas what I want is for my body to basically just sort of travel straight down, not to hinge too much with my hips. Obviously a little bit will be necessary. But yeah, I did a set with 2 plates and I think I got 6 reps, and then I took dropped it by 5 kilograms each side, and I moved everything further back because I thought that's what would have made it feel better, but it made it feel kind of worse. Turned it into a proper glute exercise, which is probably why my glutes feel absolutely ruined at the moment. But you live and you learn. That is one benefit of recording all your training. That way you can watch back and assess. If I hadn't recorded that, I could have done it, not incorrectly, but not the way that I wanted to be doing it for weeks perhaps, which would have meant that I would be leaving progress on the table because I'm not doing it as accurately as I could be. After that, moving on to the seated calf press, which is very similar to the one that I do on my other leg day, which I did at King's. In fact, it's the exact same machine aside from the fact that it's pin loaded as opposed to plate loaded, which makes it feel a little bit different, but not by much whatsoever. Also, my arms and shoulders look pretty good on this set, so happy with that. Happy with the natural lighting beaming down on me. But yeah, 2 good sets on here. Did the first set in a little bit of a higher rep range because I didn't know what weight to use on this. So then I just upped it by 2 pins on the back off set and took a bit of a lower rep set, which felt great also. And then had a bit of a chat with Reece after that, and then just before I went do you want to call us some poses?
Yeah, sure thing. 2 front racks. That's it. You actually put look more in proportion now. What is that?
I don't know what it is. Do you know what? I don't know if it's cardio, you know. Instead of going to the gym to do cardio now, I did it on cross trainer or prep. Now I'm doing it on the bike. And I feel like my legs might downside. I don't know.
I think you're body short again.
Watching my push scroll.
Yeah, did you power lift?
Say that again, bro?
Did you power lift?
Mate, I'm fucking weak at this.
Like normally that is really quite a good squat.
Yeah. I don't mean this one loads and everything, like tedious. Yeah. Front up.
You know when you're there, imagine there's someone's hand underneath your elbow, pull your elbow down. So forget the midsection, through this, right? So if you bring your arms up, and then push into my arms, right? And then if you imagine you relax, and then do it again and watch these pop out. They pop out like an inch.
That's good, cute. No, hold that.
I was in control with that.
Yeah.
Probably. You probably know him for very labs.
Yeah, for very labs. Side chest.
So you want to come to the old icon in Birmingham tomorrow?
So some workshops? Icon? What's that?
You know icon?
Icon.
Neil, an icon?
Fucking Icon, yeah. I thought he was doing fucking chili.
That's fucking late.
Yeah, I thought you were doing something in Africa, though. I didn't think anything was so in Europe and shit.
It's just been 2 tickets.
He's just assuming he's just flew home.
Yeah.
Nobody want to go?
Fuck that.
I could not think of it. You're not drunk, you don't know chance.
Neil, an icon tomorrow, me and you?
Can I figure out? You got abs and thigh in you?
You should have, mate. You got some fucking abs there.
Most musculars finish? Yeah, several.
Few physique shots,
Yeah, let's see. That was good. Seb's proudest achievement beating a gym shark out of East Asia. He turned up like, he finished third, he's like, ah shit, I think this gym shark out of my show. And then like, he walked out, I was so fat. He was so fat, shit, it was crazy. That's it. Turn around, mate, see that's all there? It's all there. Yeah. One of them plays. I think once night,
Right, yes guys, just finishing up the post-workout meal now. It's basically just the usual cereal, rice cakes, whey paste. I put honey on this time instead of the jam, and a little tub of cream of rice. So yeah, it's going down lovely. Just finished up the leg session and posed a bit, had a Reece look over that and tell me how I'm looking, which is always good feedback from him because, you know, pro and all that. So yeah, I'm gonna do a little walk around the industrial estate after this just to get everything moving because it is a big meal and I am gonna be sat in the car for another 2 hours, and if I don't walk around for a little bit I'm probably gonna cramp up mid-drive on the motorway, which would be horrific, so I want to try and avoid that happening. That post-workout meal has been consumed, so I'm just gonna walk about for like 20 minutes or so, take off some more steps just so I can get some more blood into my legs, because like I said, if I start driving now I probably won't stop for an hour, maybe an hour and a half, depending on whether I need a piss or not. And my legs will cramp up in that time if I don't move them, especially after doing like them Bulgarians, man, Jesus. I haven't done a Bulgarian split squat in probably like 2 years. I tried doing a glute drive, but I couldn't find any of those little pads to put on the Smith machine, and I don't like the actual Nautilus glute drive. It hurts, it pulls on like the skin of my quads, which feels really uncomfortable. So yeah, did Bulgarians instead. Yeah, they've absolutely ruined me. So yeah, great session. Ideally, I probably would have wanted a rep up on the top set of stiff legs, and I would have liked to finish the last rep on the back off, but oh well, still gave it my all. Like I said, train off 2 meals as opposed to 4, which I know it's not. I'm still eating ridiculous amounts of food, so it doesn't really affect it that much, but I am someone who does tend to prefer training with a bit more food in my system. But you know, it's whatever you're used to. If I trained every day on 2 meals, it'd be sound. But because I'm used to normally training on 4 meals, it just does feel a little bit different. But yeah, felt great regardless. But yeah, that's pretty much the video. I've got 2 more meals to get down. I'll probably just do the full drive back. I just can't imagine I'll need to stop to eat that meal. I'll just have that meal when I get straight home. Then, you know, shower, all that, and have the last meal before I go to bed. See ya. Like and subscribe. Adios.